Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Another episode of Trash Talk. I'm Damian Hill. With me, as always, is TJ O'Connor. Tonight, we are joined by Angel Pacheco, who's getting ready to drop some fight news for us. But before that happens, our sponsors are Valhalla Combat Sports Incorporated, Ink Shrink Tattoo out of New Brighton, Minnesota, Origin Wellness CBD, The Striking Institute, Spartan Martial Arts, James Clark Sports Psychology and Hypnosis Therapy, The Fighters, and TJ's mom. How you doing tonight, Angel?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Excited to see that a lot of the guys are starting to actually get fights again. Things are seem like they're about to start get back rolling again. How did this fight come to be, and how long have you been trying to find one?
I've been looking for fights. Things have just not been great situations. Like a lot of times it was like a week notice or 2 week notice, and for me to make weight like that, I could maybe make it, but I would not show. Uh, I'd show in the performance how bad the weight cut was, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I I believe it was like a month or two ago. I could have maybe got an LFA card, but like I said, it was really, really short notice, so we decided to kind of pass on it. This fight came to be. Brock just randomly like text me. He's like, "Hey, you might be fighting this date." I was like, "Oh, great, I guess." Um, so that's what happened. We found out about 2 or 3 days ago, and now I'm fighting. So yeah,
Yeah.
heading down to Atlanta, Georgia, and gonna get another W.
Oh yeah. Well, you and Brock have a pretty good relationship. Is it one of those things where he already knew you were looking for a fight? He knew how much time, and he's just like, "No, I'm telling you, you're gonna fight this day." Did do you even question that when that message comes?
No, I honestly believe he has the best interest for me. I trust everything he does. So, and he knew I've been looking for something, and we just needed a little bit more time to kind of prepare, I guess. More so than, like I said, a week notice, 2 week notice.
Yeah.
That's really short to try to cut the weight, And the way I fight, it's just a pressure style, so I kind of need to know I can keep up for 3 full rounds.
Yeah.
And if I cut a lot of weight really fast, that's gonna affect me big time. So.
Mhm.
Definitely. And I feel like we've been walking our viewers on the edge of the cliff here. We put out a couple clues. Atlanta, Georgia. Why don't you tell us when you're fighting, who you're fighting, and when it's going down?
I am fighting December 11th. I will be fighting Nate Williams, and it will be for the NFC promotion out there. I'm assuming it's like a feeder promotion, like our driller promotions here in Minnesota, or like a Savage. Um, yeah, the guy's super experienced. He's
Yeah.
10-6, I believe. I don't think he has any draws or anything like that, but he's got a lot of experience. It's actually a perfect kind of step up in competition for me. My first 3 fights were kind of newer professionals, at least. Obviously, those guys had long amateur careers, but this guy's been a professional for a while, so it'll be an interesting puzzle to solve, I guess. And
Yeah.
I'll be no, I was just gonna
Sorry.
say I'll be ready for it. I'll be ready for it. I'm excited.
Oh yeah. Well, we had talked. I mean, we've talked with you many times, but one of the things that we've talked about previously, and I can't remember which interview it was, but building yourself up, taking it. I mean, taking the right fights at the right time, and now kind of jumping right into deep water right now. I mean, we've talked. I think this conversation was off camera. I can't remember if it was on camera or not, but we talked where you've seen yourself in the next few years and where you think you could be, and all the training and the people that you have behind you. I mean, with the win over a guy like this, how much further do you think you would have to go to start proving yourself that you're ready for the world promotion?
I already feel that way. If I could fight to like the same date and everything on the Contender Series to get into the UFC, I would. If I could fight in Bellator, I would. If I could fight in the UFC, I would. Obviously, my record doesn't show that I'm that good yet, or that I've proven that at least in the professional ranks yet. But I feel I can. Um, I compete with guys like Bobby Lee, which he's in Bellator now. He got a 4-fight contract. I compete with guys like Colin Hucklebody. He got a contract for the UFC. Um, so it's not like I'm not seeing these levels of competition. Obviously, we're not a big gym like Greg Jackson or ATT out in Florida or something like that. But we have a great coach, and I have people that can push me and um, just improve all the time, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
definitely. And knowing that, like you said, you're in the room with these guys, you're seeing when they get their opportunity, and you know, what you're doing along with them. And I love the mindset you have, where you said, I'm ready for this right now, and that just goes to show that relationship even more so that you have with Brock, like Damian was talking about earlier. When Brock texted you and said, "Hey, I got this fight," he already knew you wanted the fight, and you know that he has your best interest, so you can take those good steps. What do you think going out of town to fight? I'm assuming just because you're involved, this is the main event. So you're going out of town to main event this card. Hopefully, I think this guy's from that area. A lot of his fights are in the Southeast. Do you think that this is the next step to show everybody else what you already know?
Yeah, I don't know for the main event. I know he's the number one featherweight in Georgia, I believe, and number two in South Carolina or something like that. But
okay.
hopefully we are. That'd be cool. But
Yeah.
if otherwise from that, yeah, 100%. This is the perfect fight. Like I told you guys earlier this year after my first fight in February, I was hoping to get 3 or 4 fights. With the landscape now, the UFC are kind of bringing in more like prospects and stuff into the
Yeah.
contender series and stuff like that. So I'm not like no disrespect to anyone that's been called into the contender series or anything like that, but it's a little bit of an easier path now, I feel, because they do need to fill spots just in case people have COVID or whatever the case be. Um, but if I well, when I win this fight, I prefer, if possible, maybe to get another one in January local if Minnesota has them. I'm not sure yet. It
Yeah.
depends. Yeah, it depends what our governor does and everything like that. But if not, I would love to get opportunity at the Contender Series. I know I've
Oh.
talked to Brock a lot about it, um, and he had said there's a good chance I could get in there at 4-0 at this point with the landscape the way it is. So this is kind of like it's a obviously every professional fight is extremely important, but this is really really important to me. So
Oh, hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna go in and do what I do and uh, have to smash this guy pretty much.
Yeah, I think your style in general is just going to be a favorite if you ever do make it onto the contender series. I mean, it'd be really nice to see you there. But speaking more on your opponent right now, he's kind of known as a submission artist. He has a lot of submission wins, and he has a lot of depth in his record. I think he's the most experienced pro fighter or pro MMA fighter that you faced. I can't remember all of the records of everybody you face as an amateur, but he's definitely the most experienced as a pro and has the jiu-jitsu backing to go with it. You, on the other hand, are known as a striker, but you also train at a really high-level jiu-jitsu gym. How do you think you two match up on the ground, and what do you think are the surprises that he might have for you either on the ground or on the feet?
Um, I think he will be the most diverse fighter I've ever fought in for sure. Like he's pretty good on his feet. He's capable on his feet. Um, and he's got the ability to change levels and take people down, stuff like that. If you ever follow me on social media or anything like that, I tell everybody jujitsu's fake, right? So this is a thing that kind of stemmed from Derek Lewis. He'll get taken down by guys that should murder him, and all of a sudden he just gets up, he stands up.
Yeah.
So the reason I say jujitsu is fake is because every wrestler that ever gets me down, takes me down, I get right back up. It doesn't matter. I get myself to the cage or I get myself up from the middle of the mat, whatever the case is, I'll get up. I don't think he has enough ability to submit me. I'm a hard person to submit either way.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I don't see that happening. The only way I see him beating me is by decision or maybe a knockout, but that's very unlikely in my opinion.
Yeah.
The way I see the fight going is I'll pressure him. I'll continue to pressure him. He'll be trying to land whatever. He's pretty good at moving. He's got good footwork and stuff like that. But I'm gonna cut him off. I'm gonna pressure him. I'm gonna hit him a lot. He's gonna start taking me down, try to take me down, whichever. And either I'll end up on top of him and grounded pound, or I'm gonna knock him out on his feet. He has been knocked out before, and I've TKO'd or KO'd everyone I've fought in so far as a professional. And as an amateur, even everyone I beat, I submitted or knocked out. So,
Man, hell yeah.
Finish
Well,
fight.
yeah.
yeah,
Now, with this, do you know the size of the cage that you'll be fighting in?
I
Have you
don't
s-
know that.
Okay. Have
I'm
you?
not sure.
Okay, I was gonna say, have you seen the promotion or anything? Like, do you have a rough estimate? Because it goes in my next question. Where do you feel more comfortable, in a bigger cage or in a smaller cage?
Honestly, it doesn't really matter too much because I'm just gonna corner somebody. Whoever I fight, I'm cornering. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna try to corner them, hit them until they panic. Pretty much, honestly. Uh,
Yeah. No,
even
I get it, because it's like our boxing coach kind of has the same philosophy. Whether you're fighting in a 12-foot ring or a 24-foot ring, wherever, it's like your pressure should always make it feel like a phone booth, or a
yeah,
how whatever space you want to give them is how much is what it should feel like. So a 2-foot, 3-foot, or a fucking phone booth, like
yeah,
that's how much room you have to breathe, and I like that.
yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, and I loved how automatic the answer was, because that kind of goes into my next question is we've had you on so many times and we've talked about your experience, how many fights you've been in. When taking a fight like this where it's not necessarily, extremely short notice, but there's not enough time for a full camp. Is this one of those things where you know how to fight, so you're going to focus on getting into fight shape, or are you going to still try to develop some sort of a game plan as on top of that specifically for this opponent, in the limited amount of time you have?
For me, at least right now, it's more so getting in a little bit better fight shape and losing the weight. Uh, that'll be the the only thing really that's on my mind. I mean, the way I fight is honestly perfect for his style. Like for me, for my style, unless I start following him around the cage and he's pot shotting me and moving around and kind of just I'm not cutting him off. That's the only way I really see him beating me on the feet is by like outpointing me or something, pot shotting and stuff like that. Uh, with that said, that doesn't like I don't allow that to happen. I won't allow that to happen. Uh, I'm just like I said, I'm gonna come forward, cut him off, hit him, and like I said, he'll eventually try to take me down or just try to hurt me with knees, elbows, whatever. But yeah, nothing concerns me really, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we're all human and can get knocked out, can get whatever, but I don't uh I don't foresee him having the ability to beat me. My style is bad for his, I feel. Uh and it's gonna be I feel it's gonna be a good night for me. I feel
Yeah.
just my style in general will break a lot of styles.
Yeah.
And if it comes down to just heart and stuff like that, I know I have that, and it won't matter.
Oh yeah, it's been on display time and time again. I mean, you're one of the toughest fighters that I've seen as an amateur, as a pro, and shared the ring with. I mean, dude, I love it. And I guess going into this fight, it's gonna be in Atlanta. I'm not trying to say that a lot of people wouldn't make the trip down, but I don't think that a lot of people are going to be able to, with the climate that we're in. How are people going to be able to watch this?
I'm assuming there might be a stream of some sort, but I know my dad's driving out. A couple friends might drive out. So I will have some people there, cheering me on, obviously. I think it's only like 500 people capacity for the show. So they're
Okay.
like at 25% or something maybe for their buildings. But
Well, no, that's it. That is good that at least there will be some people there, and you do have your dad and family, friends coming out there to
yeah,
support you too. So,
yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's just they'll have some crowd, but I will for sure have some people out there. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna be the underdog, everybody's gonna boo me and everything because he's probably from that area kind of thing. But like I said, I'm just really excited. I'm excited to prove I belong in there with guys like this. I mean, he has 16 fights, but it's gonna be an eye opener for whoever is out there that thinks, oh well, Angel just fights, people that are 1-0 or 0-0 or whatever the case be. I know what I'm capable of, and I'm ready to kind of just show it.
Oh yeah, dude, I love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. Sorry, TJ.
That's it. I'm really excited, and hopefully, if there's a stream, be sure to send it to us so we can blast it for everybody to see the fight. But before we wrap it up here tonight, just always want to give you that open platform. Thank any teammates, sponsors, anybody outside the gym that's been there for you leading up to this fight.
Yeah, for sure. Always start BJJ, the Golden Gloves Boxing Gym in St. Cloud here. Joey Hart, right away, once I told him I was fighting this guy, he was like, oh, awesome, I'll help you. Let me know whenever, however I can help. Also, this other guy, he's about to make his amateur debut in January. Tanner Tremblay, he's a pretty good wrestler. He actually competed at that jiu-jitsu match over at Valhalla's show.
Okay.
He's a really high-level wrestler. He's been helping me too. We're just gonna keep wrestling and obviously just grinding and working and working. Like I said, I'm super excited. I think. What was I gonna say? Sorry, I lost train of thought.
No.
I think my only sponsorship for this fight will be my employers, IRT, Steve Budd and Dave Owens. So obviously other places are struggling right now and kind of can't. Their doors are either not open or they have COVID stuff still. So it's not as easy to kind of give out money or whatever the case be. But I appreciate everybody else that have supported me, and hopefully everything gets back to normal here pretty soon.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you for joining us, Angel. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. People watching this video, like this video, subscribe to Trash Talk with Damian and TJ. Don't be a hoe.